Didn't see you there. How often do you take a picture? Pretty often, I bet. I know I take lots of photos. What about a picture of yourself? A self-portrait, perhaps? Well, Cindy Sherman is a photographer who has been taking self-portraits since the 1970s. Let's dive in. Cindy Sherman was born on January 19th, 1954, in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. She started college in 1972 at Buffalo State University and focused on painting in the visual arts department. Sherman felt like painting was a limiting medium and started to explore photography. She began dressing up as different characters to go to parties and photographed the process of getting dolled up. She says she was putting energy into her makeup and thinking, why waste it? Sherman states that well before the film stills, she was already using herself in the work. She liked to play with makeup just to see where it took her. Sherman realized that she was embodying different personas and decided to make a series called Bus Riders. This was Sherman's first cohesive photographic series and features a variety of observed characters. Sherman saw people at the bus stop and represented them through self-portraits. Unfortunately, Sherman used blackface to depict black people in this series.
And if she sees this, she's going to kill me for telling you.
As you'll see later on, Sherman was perfectly capable of using prosthetics and makeup to enhance and change her face to represent different facial features. However, this attention to detail is not executed in her blackface characters. Though this was the start to her self-portraits, it was a regrettable choice on her part. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the Untitled film still series. Created from 1977 to 1980, the Untitled film stills series consists of 70 black and white images, all self-portraits of Cindy Sherman. Let's take a look at a few. Untitled film still number 21 is probably the most popular of the film stills. Sherman is looking off into the distance against a backdrop of the city. This picture is known as the City Girl because she is posed as a Hitchcock-inspired working woman on the streets of the big city. Which city? That's up to you. Visual culture theorist Nicholas Mirzoeff describes the opening in her lips, creating a sense of threat and anxiety. He points out that in the classic Hollywood screen setting, victims are always isolated like this before they suffer violence. Watch out, city girl. While her mouth is open and her brow furrowed, there could be nothing more on her mind than annoyance and mild uncertainty. Sherman purposely leaves the explanations behind each persona ambiguous. The early prints in the series were taken in Sherman's New York City apartment. Untitled film still number 3 reveals the domestic life of an imagined movie star. She is seen wearing an apron and is standing over the kitchen sink, surrounded by typical kitchenware and cleaning supplies. A bottle of dish soap, a drying rack, a spice jar on the shelf. In the foreground, there is an open container of salt and the handle of a pot. The woman pauses to gaze over her shoulder, her right hand wrapped around her stomach. This image is the stereotypical representation of a 20th century housewife. Sherman says that Untitled film still number 14 was the most elaborate setup of the entire series. This is the one where she tried hardest to make it look like there was someone else in the scene. In the lower left foreground, there is a card table, which is reflected in a mirror beyond. In the mirror, you can see smoke rising up, as if someone just outside the frame were smoking a cigarette. This could represent a feeling of unrest and disruption that is beyond our field of vision. Sherman was heavily inspired by the film stills of older movies. These depicted the roles that women played in the film industry in the 1950s and 1960s. She states that she was mostly going for the look of European as opposed to Hollywood types. Some of the characters were consciously influenced, while others were loose interpretations. To Sherman, number 16 resembles Jeanne Moreau, though she is unsure if she specifically had her in mind when shooting. She also says this character reminds her of Simone Signore. Number 35 is inspired by Sophia Loren in her more earthy roles like Two Women. Sherman was very into the style of directors Alfred Hitchcock and Michelangelo Antonioni, and also neorealism. Neorealism is a movement, especially in Italian filmmaking, characterized by the simple and direct depiction of lower-class life. Number 27, which Sherman calls the crying girl, has strong emotion, though her face is blank. It is as though she has just finished crying and was so cried out she had no tears left. Cindy Sherman's characters weren't just airhead actresses. They were women struggling with something out of reach. These characters are questioning something, perhaps being forced into a certain role. At the same time, they are acting, so they're not being lifelike. There are many levels of artifice, and Sherman likes the ambiguity. Numbers 26, 27b, 28, and 29 are inspired by a character similar to Olivia de Havilland in The Snake Pit, a film about a woman who is put in a mental hospital. She doesn't believe she belongs there, yet slowly loses sanity because she has no other choice. Many images were taken in the comfort of Sherman's own home and photography studio, where she would make the set look as different as possible for different pictures. Once she got more comfortable with dressing up in public, she would take the following pictures during her travels. These pictures in particular were taken in Arizona. Sherman purposely left the pieces untitled. She explained how she didn't want to title them because that would spoil the ambiguity. The only reason they are numbered is because when Metro Pictures put them on display, the gallery assigned numbers, solely for identification. Sherman knew that the series had come to an end when she started repeating herself. She remembers looking at the girl with the black scarf, number 58, and thinking she was repeating the city girl shot, number 21. She drew similarities between them. Both two innocents looking up around the looming city in the background, and she felt as though she had completed enough characters. She'd used up every bit of furniture and every corner of her apartment. It was time for her to move on. Cindy Sherman was a pioneer in the photography world, creating groundbreaking self-portraits that commented on the role of women in film. From doing her own makeup and styling to setting up the camera for a perfect shot, Cindy Sherman did it herself. The Untitled film stills are a staple in self-portraits and photography. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me in exploring Cindy Sherman's Untitled film stills.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. Certainly glad you could be here. Today I'm going to teach you how to take the perfect selfie. Step number 1, have a pretty background. Here we've got with us a winter wonderland with mountains and stormy clouds. Boy, it makes it chilly just looking at it, huh? The next step, you need someone else. The more the merrier. Another person's always fun. Then you need a camera, your choice. Whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever works. And snap a few pics. Try a different angle. Oh, I LinkedIn that one. Make sure you take lots. Well, there you have it. That's how to take the perfect selfie. I'm so glad you were able to be with us today. Thank you for having me.